What's up, guys? Raul and Hunter here with the Seat Shop, and today we're going to be working on a 2005 to 2009 Ford Ranger XL seat. We're going to be offering these covers now. We're going to show you how to get them installed. If you want to check out the covers, just check out www.theseatshop.com. We'll include a link below. And without further ado, let's get started.
All right, the first step, we're going to go ahead and take off this plastic control panel on the side. 3 Phillips head screws, 1 here at the front and 2 on this side, one of them which is holding on the recline handle.
While Hunter's doing that, I'm actually going to remove this cup holder, and it's pretty easy. Some of them don't have this option, some of them do. You just grab the cup holders up and pull up on it, and then out. And you might have to finagle for it a little bit. There it goes. If yours doesn't have that option, you won't have these pegs. You'll just have a little push in. If it does, you're going to end up using, I believe, a T30 Torx bit to remove it.
All right, we got that plastic control panel on. Behind that is a little plastic push tab that holds on this carpet here. We need a pry tool, or you can do this with a flathead, but it definitely helps to have a pry tool. You have to get all the way behind it.
You are going to be removing a bunch of nuts and bolts and screws, so make sure you don't lose any of them. Try to keep them all in one place.
All right.
Okay.
Tip the seat back and get to all these plastic J-clips that are hooked to the frame underneath. There should be one usually in all 4 corners. Be very careful when you're doing this because these frames are sharp, rusted. We cut our hands all the time on it, so you may not hurt to wear a pair of gloves. But all these just literally just roll and click off the frame.
There will be a few Velcros down here as well, like here. Just make sure you hold both the hook and loop when you pull off. This being a 60 portion bottom is going to have a heck of a lot more clips on it. It's a little more intricate. The 40 bottom is a little bit easier to do.
There you go. And you can see how rusty and sharp all this steel is underneath. So
that's going to be all our clips. All right.
Yeah.
So now what we're going to have to do is actually turn the seat up, and we're going to be removing this plastic panel here on the side. It's just clipped on. So we're going to reach back here, just pull back on it, out, and then you're going to have a T40 Torx bit there, and then we're going to have, I believe they're 10mm bolts.
You can roll this cover up too, I believe, to get to one of them, and then one of them you can get from the top here.
Let's see, 10, 10, 10. Yeah. Tilt it up a little bit. Okay.
Just clip, there we go.
Alrighty. That comes out. This, let me see.
The same style trim panel that he first pulled off that was sitting here. The same trim panel is stuffed in here between the seat top too. So you can pop off that plastic. There it goes. It's loose there. Okay. There we go.
So real quick, its torque is the same thing.
Oh, so we can recline this seat back, yeah.
Yeah.
And you don't have to have this screw on it, just put this handle back on and we're gonna
recline it back.
Yep, and we'll be able to push it down like this and see that Torx bit or Torx bolt.
And there goes our
Awesome.
arm. And we'll set this aside. We'll be recovering this here in a bit as well.
And you can start rolling this cover up since we already released all the clips underneath it. These seam lines right here held down with hog rings and a hog ring bar that fastens the cover to the foam. That's what really gives your seat cover the definition on the seam lines. We just take a pair of snips, cutters here, and just cut these hog rings. You'll see them, they're spaced out about every six or so inches. We're just gonna clip them all and across the middle.
Let me lean that seat forward a bit.
Oh, going forward?
Yeah. There you go. We'll get these Velcro here in the back, and there's some push tabs as well.
I got
our pry tool.
Here you go.
There we go. All right, once we get that done, taking off, that cover is loose. You'll actually be able to slide it up and over this peg here.
Keep working on these hog rings.
Yeah. One more thing to note too on this, the 60 portion on this, you're gonna have a strap that goes underneath and on the foam. You can actually go ahead and remove that and tuck it through that foam like that. And that's gonna allow us to bring that cover up once Hunter's done with the hog rings there.
And the new cover you get from us too, we'll address it later also, but the new cover you get, we're going to include all the hog rings, bag plenty of them for you to use. We do have a pair of hog ring pliers available if you'd like to take advantage of those. Makes it a little easier. They have a groove on it to kind of hold the hog ring when you're crimping it back together. Very good. Should be one more here at the back. There we go.
Just can see back a bit now.
Yeah. Yeah.
So this is loose here.
Mm-hmm.
All that's loose and ready to just come out. A lot of times these foams aren't technically glued onto the cover or the frames, but it's just been sitting for so long that all the rust acts like almost like an adhesive. It's kind of gross.
Just make sure you don't tear it up too much.
Yeah.
There you go.
And this particular one is super rusty.
There is one more clip on the underneath side of this.
All right. All right, in order to get to the clips Hunter's talking about, we're actually going to have to remove 4 bolts that are located on these corners here. They're going to be 8mm bolts. In order to get to the front ones, you'll have to move the tracks back, down. In order to get to the back ones, you'll have to move the tracks forward, okay? So just make sure whenever you're doing that, there is a spring on that one. Just keep clear of your hands so you don't get them caught. So right now we'll do the front ones.
Yeah, there you go.
Get to this one right quick. Get to this little guy right here.
Yep.
All right, and now in order to get these back ones, we can get this one still. And now that one is free and clear there as well. Awesome. Now with those free, we'll be able to let the pan and get to those clips. We'll have to take some of these push-ins out as well.
Some of the
For
wiring.
harness push-ins. Okay.
There we go.
There you go.
All right.
One's out.
Yeah, there you go. You need a flathead?
Yeah. That one's out too. Okay.
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 And leave it loose, obviously, since the new cover will have those clips as well. Get to it?
Yeah. We'll try to pull it out without getting tetanus.
Yeah.
It's like cemented in, dude. The clip
Is
is
it?
off. The
Yeah,
clip
this
is-
frame's pretty rusty, so.
Yeah. There you go. Okay. There he goes. All right, we're out.
All right, that's the bottom.
Bottom's out.
This is a good time too, maybe to get a set of needle nose and remove the old hog ring, the remnants, because since we cut them,
Yes.
so you can get a pair of needle nose or use the slips and just rotate and just pull out all these metal shards, because you definitely don't want them cutting through the new cover. All right.
All right. So now we can take this foam off. Okay. We'll set it aside as well. And what we're going to be doing is actually removing the top. Now, in order to remove the top and get to the bolts, we're going to have to actually remove this bracket and then get to it from the other side.
Yeah, and these on this side over here, you can get to them right by the hinge. Let me see the 13.
I can do these by hand. This will also be a really good time to collect any loose chains that you've lost over the amount of years you've had your truck.
And disconnect this. It's just a little plastic tab that pushes in there and hooks. Oh, here's the impact.
Oh.
Need it?
Yeah. Thank you, sir. Okay. Set that bracket aside as well. All right. Now we can get to the bolts that hold our actual seat in. Let's see. It'll be a 13. Did you already remove the ones on that side?
Yes, sir.
All right, awesome. The other one is right there. Actually, that's why we have a 13 ratchet. Yeah, thank you. There it goes, there it goes. Almost there. All right, so this piece here, this actually removes the seat belt, and as you can see, we'll have clear access to the bolt to remove that top. So let me switch the drives right quick. Yeah. goes.
And that same cable over here.
And that should free up our top to come out. There it goes. All right, guys, as you can see here, actually a chunk of our foam came off. This seat's pretty rusted. So what we'll do is if this does happen to you, which is pretty common, as you can see, it's not really glued on, it's literally just rusted on. You can take this and actually glue it back onto your foam. We have the old cover removed on the 60. We can go ahead, what we're gonna do is we're gonna remove this top cover and we'll work on our 40 portion now. All right, guys, let me show you how to take apart the armrest cover to get it ready to reinstall the new one. So this is pretty simple. Once you have the armrest removed, it's got a zipper on the back. And what you're gonna do is pretty much reach inside and untuck the ends. You can see there's a zipper head here. You might need a pair of needle nose pliers or a pair of any kind of pliers to grab the zipper head and pull back on it to get it to unzip. You see this one's pretty rusted, just like the rest of the seat. All right, once you get that unzipped, it's just a matter of peeling the old cover back. And that's all there is to it.
All right, now we're going to focus on the 40 side. It's going to be very similar to the 60 with this control panel coming off again with the 3 Phillips head screws. So we're just going to get this recline lever off. First screw. Come right here and get the front one.
Now there's going to be a clip on that back side. You just have to give it a little tug and actually move that panel up and out.
Yep, so this catch right here sits over the frame right here, so you'll have to lift it up a little bit. Again, we have this plastic push tab here holding on the carpet. Get your pry tool, flathead.
There's an assortment of Velcros in the back. We can go ahead and take those on the cover itself off too.
All right, I'm free on this side.
Okay, cool. So now what we're going to do is we're actually going to tilt the seat back. There's going to be 4 8mm bolts holding the pan. We're going to take the bolts off. We're not going to completely remove the pan. We just need enough room to get up under there and take all the clips off. All right.
And again, you can move these tracks here to
down and get them out the way.
Yep. I can move this down more if you need it.
Yeah. There it goes. That's good.
Okay.
So all those 4 are done. So now we'll have enough room to actually move our pan up a bit so we can get to the clips underneath.
Yeah. And it may be held on too from some of these electrical connections. So if I can just get the pry tool in there, pry this one off. There we go. All right, that should work.
On the inside of the seat, we do want to remove this clip. And so we can actually before we take our whole seat cover off, we want to take the seat belt off. But it's going to be really hard to get to that bolt without actually taking this clip off. So once we remove the pan, move it, we'll go ahead and take, I believe it should be a 13mm, and we'll remove that seat belt. All right. Set that bolt to the side. Look for a plug here. We won't have to completely remove it, just get it out the way. All right, so that does our cover there.
Get all 4 of these J-clips too. There's the last one.
Perfect. There are going to be, like for the recline, there's going to be the cable on the inside as well. Same as we removed on the driver's side, just gonna pop them off, like so. Perfect.
That one. This one's free.
All right, that should give us enough room there to get to the clips.
Right in here, that has a little catch that hooks to one of these grooves here in the metal frame. So just undo those.
I'm gonna do this side right quick as well.
Oh yeah.
Turn the seat. There you go. Hang tight before you pry it. Let me pull the clip off. There it goes. All right, this clip's done.
Just trying to fish this hook through. Oh, it's hooked around the bolt. This side.
This one's actually pinched, dude.
This is
Oh,
hooked
the
around
wire's
frame.
still hooked on there. So this there it goes.
There you go.
All right. Oh, dude, this one's really rusted too.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we can set this here and show you kind of what we were working with in there. There's these little plastic clips right here that actually go in that groove like that. So it is a little easier to probably just go ahead and completely remove the seat pan. You may have to undo some of these wires like we did to get some clearance from the frame. But after that, I mean, just pry these off, and then your cover is going to be loose except for the hog rings that we'll cut off.
And keep in mind, guys, we're probably actually going to end up having to replace a lot of these parts because they're so rusted. More than likely, your seat shouldn't be this rusted. This is probably sitting in a truck for a while, and just under the rain at a junkyard or something like that. So you shouldn't have that much trouble removing it just because it shouldn't, hopefully, not be that rusted. All right, so now that we've done that, we can go ahead and flip it over and actually remove the cover from the foam itself. I'm just snipping all the hog rings.
And while he's getting those hog rings, I'm going to start on removing the seat back from this frame here. There's going to be 4 13mm bolts, 2 on each side where the seat hinge is here. Yeah, let me see that impact. Yeah. 2 on this side. Go around here. Alright, rock this frame back. You can set this bottom frame on the ground.
Now, keep in mind, guys, this is the passenger side. We're going to show you on the passenger side top how to remove from the actual foam. It's actually the same exact top on the driver's side.
Yeah, the process will be the exact same cover. They don't even make a driver and a passenger pattern for it. They're identical patterns, so you can do one, you can do the other side.
Awesome. We'll go ahead and set our pan aside as well.
Okay. Gonna flip this over. The bottom back side of this seat top is just held together by 2 J-clips that interlock together. Easiest way to get these undone is get a flathead screwdriver and wedge it in between where they hook together, and just start at one side, and then it'll literally just unroll like that. You can flip this over.
Yeah, keep in mind, guys, whenever you're taking it off, it is going to be Velcros, strips that go from top to bottom, and then you're going to have a single hog ring strip, I believe, right here.
There will be another Velcro up top, but we'll get there. So is what he's going to do from the front is get under the cover and start separating that Velcro that's attached to the foam from the Velcro that's on the cover.
Right, and that way you don't pull your Velcro off your foam. If you do happen to pull one of the Velcros off the foam, don't freak out. We actually have a video, if you wanted to check it out as well, showing you how to glue those back on.
Yeah.
Way up to that.
All right. You want to start rolling it off, almost like you're taking a t-shirt inside out. We can start with it up like this. Just get it started to roll.
We're going to roll it all the way up to when we get to our hoggery strip.
Yep.
Once we get to our hoggery strip, we'll be able to snip those off and then continue rolling back down.
There we go. Yeah. First one.
All right. And then we'll hold our Velcro. There's one more Velcro strip up here at the top, which we'll get to here in a second.
There we go.
Man, this one's really on there. All right. Awesome. And that's it.
All right, perfect. We're going to get the new set of covers and we'll show you the process of recovering both the driver and passenger bottom and a top.